Have you ever stopped to think that the one thing you're amazing at might actually be the very thing holding you back? It sounds totally backward, I know, but it's a real thing. So let's dive into what's called the expertise trap and find out why sometimes the smartest move you can make is to pretend you know nothing at all. Just read that for a second. This is a super honest confession from a marketer with 10 years of experience, a whole decade. She was trying to build something totally new but kept hitting a wall. And the reason? It's right there in that last sentence. I think I know better. Ugh. That little voice in our head, right? The one that's so sure our way is the right way, even when we're getting zero results. So this gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Why does this happen? Why do people who are genuinely brilliant and skilled in their fields just get completely stuck when they try to learn something new? Well, it's something we call the expert's paradox. It's this crazy situation where your greatest strength, all that knowledge and experience you've built up, suddenly flips and becomes the biggest wall standing between you and your goal. Let's break down what's really going on here. And here's the official name for it, the expertise trap. It's basically a cognitive bias, which is just a fancy way of saying it's a mental shortcut your brain loves to take. All your past successes have taught your brain that you know what you're doing. So when you see a new, proven system, your brain doesn't just accept it. Oh no, it immediately goes, yeah, that's cute, but I can make it better. I'll just change this one little thing. I'll do it my way. And you can see the two mindsets so clearly here. On one side, you've got the expert. They have to customize. They have to improve it. They're always looking for a shortcut. And what happens? They overthink everything and get completely stuck. But then you look at the beginner. They just trust the process, they do the steps, they take action and learn as they go. It's a night and day difference. Okay, so how did our marketer get out of this trap? It all came down to one single moment. A huge turning point. It was the moment she realized she had to switch from a mindset of knowing to a mindset of following. And this, right here, is where everything changes. And boom, there it is. Her big aha moment. She had to finally admit to herself, okay, I've got a decade in marketing, that's true, but I'm not a social media expert. My old playbook doesn't apply here. Man, that little bit of humility unlocked everything. It gave her permission to stop trying to be the smartest person in the room and just be a student again. And that's the absolute key takeaway. The solution wasn't some new, fancy skill she had to learn. It had nothing to do with that. The breakthrough was all in her head. It was about letting go, surrendering that need for control, and just being humble enough to follow a path that someone else already figured out. So what did that look like in practice? It was really just a simple 3-step shift. First, and this is the hardest part for an expert, she had to admit she was a beginner. Then she had to fully commit to the system, and that meant no little tweaks, no improvements. And finally, she just had to execute. Stop overthinking and just focus on doing the work day in and day out. And the result of all this? What happened when she finally committed? She found out there's this incredible freedom that comes from just following. Let's look at what she accomplished, because it's pretty amazing. After being totally stuck for months, it took her just 30 days. 30 days of just following the plan. And in that time, she built an entire marketing machine from the ground up. That just goes to show you what can happen when you get out of your own way. And look at what came out of it. She built what she calls a faceless marketing asset. That means something that makes money without her having to be the star of the show, constantly visible. She was finally free from that paralysis of overthinking everything. And maybe the biggest lesson of all, she proved that consistent action is so much more powerful than trying to be clever. This quote really says it all, doesn't it? It's not about some magical overnight success. It's about the process. You go through each day, you do the thing, and at the end of the 30 days, the result is just there. It's like an inevitable outcome of the process, not some lucky strike of genius. Okay, so this brings us to the most important part of this whole thing. We've seen how this trap worked for someone else. Now it's time to turn that question around and look at ourselves. Look, all your experience is incredibly valuable. It's what got you to where you are right now, no doubt. But you have to ask yourself, honestly, has it also become a cage? Is there some area in your life right now where your belief that you know better is the one thing keeping you from that next big breakthrough? So I'm going to leave you with this question.
Just for a second, forget everything you think you know. What proven system could you finally follow? What incredible thing could you build, maybe in just 30 days, if you just gave yourself permission to be a beginner again?